I wrote this down. I'll try to make it as quick as I can, but it might take a little bit. So, I first met Judy 8 years ago. She and I were 2 of the 48 members of the last FBI New Agents class of 2008. She came to my attention within a very short time after we started because our defensive tactics instructor selected her as his personal tackling dummy. She did this because she both weighed and perspired less than anybody else in our class. And anytime he ever wanted to demonstrate any means of wrestling, restraining, striking, or contorting a human body, he waved a finger in Judy's direction and motioned her up to the front of the class. And every time he did this, she would stride clear-eyed straight up to him to absorb whatever punishment he had in mind that day. And every day we walked in the gym, she'd know that was coming. She never flinched, never rolled her eyes, never muttered under her breath. She never let that man beat her down. And she didn't know it at the time, but among my favorite qualities that any human being can possess is the ability to absorb something negative from the world and not return something ugly back or allow that darkness to compromise her spirit. I watched for weeks as she did this, until one afternoon as the class is trotting out of the gym, I shuffled over behind her and whispered something in her ear, and the rest of us is history. As much as I admire the toughness and resilience that she exhibited in Quantico, I did not know the extent to which those traits would be called upon over the next 8 years. By the following winter, though neither one of us knew it, she was suffering from Lyme disease. For the next 4 years, she fought through increasingly debilitating symptoms. Fatigue, joint pain, rashes and swelling, some of which you saw up there, and discoloration that defied any explanation. Difficulty thinking, difficulty remembering, disorientation. At her worst, she was sleeping 12 more hours a night, and it wasn't nearly enough. She couldn't exert herself more than 5 minutes on an elliptical machine without being completely drained for the rest of the day. She wasted away to less than 100 pounds, to the point when she walked to the shower in the morning, I could count each one of the ribs on her back. She couldn't focus at work, couldn't stay awake at home, and struggled with her short-term memory. At its scariest, she drove to an appointment in a nearby town and could not remember how to get home. Throughout all of that, she never complained. To my continuing amazement, she never once asked why me. People who went through a few hours with her never suspected anything was wrong. She never gave the appearance that she was suffering and always seemed to believe that tomorrow would be better than today. That illness never came close to breaking her. The professionals she went to for help, on the other hand, almost did. A physical therapist, a general practitioner, a rheumatologist, an orthopedic surgeon, a neurologist, another physical therapist, another rheumatologist, an infectious disease specialist, 3 hand specialists at Johns Hopkins University, one of the finest medical institutions in the world, one of whom told her the pain in her hand was absolutely tendonitis, one of whom told her it absolutely was not, and one of whom said he didn't know. Not knowing wasn't really a problem. Lyme disease is not well understood by anyone. It is extremely difficult to detect and challenging to treat if it is not identified quickly. No one should be blamed for not recognizing the source of Judy's symptoms more quickly or failing to treat them properly. However, many of these health professionals gave Judy a variety of the following answer. There is nothing wrong with you. They would run their particular test, it would come back negative, and their conclusion would be to dismiss her description of what she was feeling as invented or inaccurate. The best way that I can explain the impact of that treatment is to ask you to imagine if someone you thought was an expert told you the sky was green. And one of them did that, you probably assume it was the expert. If several of them did it all in a row, even if you know your whole life the sky was blue, you'd probably start to wonder if it was you. The cumulative impact of this treatment was to make Judy feel that her own perception of how she was feeling was wrong. And even though I spent every day and night with her, I did not understand how deeply she had been shaken until she went to see her current doctor as a Lyme disease specialist. When the physician's assistant asked her to explain her symptoms, and Judy began to recite what she had told so many other people, she slowly and unconsciously curled into the fetal position while sitting in her chair. She was involuntarily defending herself from the condescending expression of disbelief she had heard so many times before. It was not the illness that did that to her. It was the people she trusted to help her. And because that healer listened patiently, reminded her that she was not alone, and reassured her these symptoms were not simply inventions of her imagination, her healing started that day. That was the beginning of 2013. And as I've explained, I have extraordinary faith in my wife's resilience. I have always known that she'd get better and that she would feel healthy again. However, neither she nor I knew what healthy would look like for her. I did not know that it would look like this. I did not know I'd be chasing her up and down on the side of a mountain. I did not know that I'd be struggling to keep up with her in spin class, or much like she would be teaching. I did not know that we would be doing Spartan races together. I did not know that it would look like this, but I do know why it looks like this. It is because of the people in this room. It's because of the wisdom you have imparted to her, but more importantly, it's because of the comforting space you have provided for her, and because of the confidence you have instilled in her. It is a remarkable thing that you've done, and it is important to me and to us that you understand and absorb it fully. I have tried to tell some of you this individually. Without exception, I've gotten on shelves places the size of the room, and deflections that credit back to her. It makes me like the Chicky more. And she deserves every bit of that credit. But this is a monumental achievement, 7 years in the making. And most people that have this illness do not end up feeling the way that she feels. It would not have happened without several different sets of people with different skills and personalities. None of them have been more important than the people in this room. To say this more simply, I want to say thank you. Amanda asked me to get up here and talk about you, and I love you. It's easy for you to do. But, and Amanda's heard this before, in my entire life, all I've ever really wanted to do is go outside and play. I never got past being the kid who came home and ate his food or did his homework as fast as he could so he could go back outside and play. And even in the small space in the bitterly cold winter that we had at Quantico, Judy was always eager to come outside and play with me. Go run around the track, go shoot a basketball, go for a swim, smiling and giggling the whole time. When we got married, we were looking forward to a lifetime of going outside and playing together. And Lyme disease took that away from us. And you, all of you, gave it back. When I was for a year back in Quantico. What I whispered in your ear about Quantico.
Oh. I said you're my hero.
Aww.
So, to Amanda, to Allie and Callie, I think that's what to Adrian and Alex, to Sierra and Steve, and Becky and Haley and Kristen, every person who's come through this place and into our life. Thanks for making this